good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with a post-commentary duel video. So me and my man Caleb sat down and tested right before the box tournament where I ended up going 6-2 and winning the box. So this is his World Chalice over here on the left and me piloting Infernobles on the right. So this is the first time he's ever played against Infernobles, so he kind of doesn't know exactly what they do, but he's gonna learn today. But World Chalice being one of those decks that if it wins the dice roll, it's already going in a good spot. The deck is just kind of crazy, not to be honest. Like, just kind of like 40 chest, and it's all like draw what you can off the Skull Dread, etc. And but he go ahead and use Unexpected Die. He used Shade Brigading, and then here he normal summons Venus, the best like one-card starter, one-card combo that the deck has. So he's going to pay 1,000 to go ahead and grab those 2 Mystic Shine Balls. It looks like in his head he has Christia. I know his list was inspired by a Venezuelan or South American like top extravaganza list, but we're gonna see a link 4 into Skull Dread. Skull Dread's going to fire off here, drawing in 4 fresh cards, and go from there. So he gets to put the 4 or the 3 worst cards in his hand back, and keep the one best card. But he's going to go ahead and use that Venus because they have one more Shine Ball left while he's in there. So he's totally paid 1,500 life to bring out a Venus. Let's see here. He looks like he's getting ready to link into Imduk here. But we see Pot of Avarice. Wow. Which is crazy with Venus. I think it's like a 2-card combo. Pot of Avarice plus Venus serves almost like Exodius, but here he's like, we'll go ahead and just summon back out the Shine Balls, then draw, and we didn't catch it at first, but luckily I did here. I was like, wait. We got to put back the Shine Balls because you might actually draw them. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. So he just goes ahead and puts those Shine Balls in. Conveniently, he does not draw any Shine Balls, but you never know. But we're going to see World Chalice practically doing its thing. He looks like he has Ash and Christie in hand, which is pretty good, I guess. But he's going to pay 500 again, to 1,000 one more time, so he's already paid 25. Additional normal summon for the World Legacy World Chalice, which is right there in the glare. I apologize for the glare. I didn't realize it was there upon recording. But we're going to see that I have no interruptions, otherwise I would have gamut or did something to that Skull Dread, but he's going to get practically free range here to do whatever he wants. And I think that he links those 2 into a World Legacy World Chalice. I now looking at it, I don't know if he had a World Legacy World Chalice in the grave to activate, to be able to summon the Lib, because the Lib requires you to have one in grave already. However, it's I promise guys, it is going to be, it's not even going to matter at the end of everything. Even if he doesn't do this, it's not the end of the world. But the World Legacy World Chalice is going to summon out Lee, and I think that is a chosen there, so it'd be nice if the Justicar was still in the format. Lee's going to grab him that World Legacy Guard Dragon, or World Chalice Guard Dragon, which is an extension and protection as well. So, never mind, he summoned a Guard Dragon, which makes sense. So his board is just full. Like, that's just one thing about World Chalice. Like, they have so much open end. Like, he could do whatever he wanted. Like, whatever he wanted or whatever he wants to do, he can do it without any interruption from the opponent. World Chalice can just play through everything. So right there, my anxiety just getting a hold of me the best way that it can. So I'm just playing with my cards. My hand was actually bombed to go first, but sadly cannot win the dice roll this round. So World Chalice gets it and practically gets to go uninterrupted. So we're going to see Ningirtsu be summoned. So we're probably going to see Ningirtsu. Oh wait, no, not Ningirtsu. Ib. Okay, we're going to see Ib. The Mystic Shine Ball is going to be turned into, I assume, an Imduk. Maybe a Link Spider. And it looks like the Imduk is being summoned. So he's probably now going to... he's going to use Venus one more time. He's already paid, I think, 3,000 life so far. So that is time in the round. And, oh, I wish. But anyway, it looks like we might see an Ningirtsu draw... an Ningirtsu draw 1, maybe? But poor guy throws everything. Actually knocks his graveyard out, which is accidents happen. Again, guys, remember this is a testing session. Don't take it too serious. This is just what we're just trying to test. Because this box tournament, we go down to our rival locals and we play there, and they have yet to win their own box tournament. Players from Colorado and our players from Nebraska are the only players that are able to win the box tournament. So Cheyenne locals have been struggling to win their own tournaments. But anyway, so I was very confident in my list. As you guys saw, I put away the Farpy's Feather Duster. I later decided to main deck that. But he's going to go ahead and use the Keymaster, which is not on summon, to go ahead and set Sorrow, which Sorrows is... World Legacy Sorrow is an amazing counter trap that this deck has, and it can actually... It's just a good counter trap altogether. I really can't lie. But we're going to see a Chain Block here, Ningirtsu 1, either Imduk or Live 2 to draw 1 card. And he does this way because he wants to keep the Sorrow alive. But, like, his hand, guys, is still, like, pretty good. So I think this deck would benefit from Firewall, even though you don't get the special from the hand. Being able to, like, right here, he could turn the Ningirtsu and the World Legacy Guard Dragon, or any of those monsters into a Firewall, and then make, like, a Firewall for like a compulsive 3 cards, which is crazy. But I don't know. If they ever decide to slaughter Infernobles, I'll probably pick up World Chalice again myself, because I really like the complexity of the deck. I really like the thought process. It takes more than a brain cell. It takes 1 more brain cell to play than your typical monkey flip deck that requires half a brain cell just to flip Summon Limit or Summon Dragoons. So looks like we're going to see a Link summon of... I wonder what he would go for. IP Masquerena, that's a good call, but it looks like he's going to potentially just hard summon that. No, he's going to get Lee out of the graveyard, which I believe puts his fairy count to 4 exactly by getting that Lee out. And he's going to special summon Christia. I think any moment now. Yep, summon Christia. And then now we're kind of locked in a very well. Neither player can special summon, and he has, if I were able to draw something that could out that Christia, he has the Sorrow to protect it. So see in my hand, not going to be able to do anything. Seeing the Cult Wing there too, so not only did I not see a good hand, but it's going to be interesting here. Kind of just staring down this board, not being able to do anything. There's not much I'm going to be able to do. I mean, I'm trying to think of different ways, like, to out a Christia. I don't think there's any main deck way to out Christia, unless you play Imperm. But even if I did, that Sorrow there is going to protect the Christia no matter what. So my hand's actually quite crazy, I think. But even though, like, I see Cult Wing in there, you can still combo with Cult Wing. And I'm just contemplating on I think just wrapping it up. There's no point in even trying to play into it. And, yep, we just wrap it up. There was Cult Wing and Driver in my hand. That is crazy, but... Yep, so guys, World Chalice taking game 1, going uninterrupted. The deck is crazy. And we're just going to go ahead and shuffle it on in here and potentially jump into the next game. Alright guys, here we are in game 2. This is going to be just a really good game, because I get to go first, you know what I'm saying? So, losing to World Chalice game 1, game 2 I have to make up for it, and I think my hand is quite crazy too. I just go ahead and special summon the Red Layer there. Always love to see Red Layer. Then I follow up with the normal summon of Connector. Use Connector's effect to bring out the Aqua Dolphin. And Aqua Dolphin is just going to let me see his hand and go after hand traps. If he does not have any hand trap, I'm just going to start hand looping his hand and just try to get all the monsters from his hand out of it to the graveyard. Even though World Chalice does have like some graveyard recursion with like the Guard Dragon and Lee too. So he shows me his whole hand and he's like, you don't want this card. You don't want this card on. It ends up being Ash. So I end up just taking that card, discarding it, burning him for 5. And his hand's pretty good, it kind of seems like. I think he has Guard Dragon, Transmodify, Monster Reborn, 2 dragons, the little dragon, and then like the white dragon. So his hand is actually not as good as you think it is. But however, my hand is fire. No pun intended. But we're going to combo off here and just go and start playing. So I could in fact, like, I could go ahead and go like and loop another card out of his hand if I wanted to. I could just link away the Aqua Dolphin and the red layer into Isolde effect to add a free discard fodder, which I think I do anyway here, as you guys will see. I think that's the route I go for, because all they need to do is see Venus, and even though I think I have full combo, so it wouldn't matter if he did see Venus. Just going to go ahead and use the effect of Isolde to add, because I know what his hand is. One of the good things about Infernobles is that you play Connector, and Connector gives you that valuable hand knowledge. But something that I must try to advise people to do is always try to remember the cards in hand. Even after you've got rid of all the hand traps, try to remember the cards in hand, so like you can not like forget and then make your board incorrectly, and then they just plow through you because because you had a board. But we're going to see a Mill 2 going down into Gimba, the tuner that I prefer to play. I know some people like playing Armageddon Knight. I'm not a fan of that version. I think it introduces 2 more bricks to the deck that you don't need. Yes, it lets you put back Coltwing, but we can combo with Coltwing, which I hope to have a video up showcasing like how to combo with Coltwing. So contemplating, I'm going to go ahead and use Neospace Connector to tribute itself. And we're going to bring out that Aqua Dolphin. Again, Dolphin's effect, pitching the red layer I added off of Isolde. And I get to rip another card from his hand. And I think I just tell him, rip the dragon. The little dragon. He's asking how is this, like, how'd I do it? Sort of thing, because he wasn't paying attention, and I just explained to him one more time. So I rip the dragon. So he's already down to 3 cards in hand, and I think at the end of this, I'm even going to be able to rip more, which is unfair, but, this deck is not even rogue, guys, so it's, don't even worry about it. So we're going to see Halifibrex combo off and summon out the Despot, which, for everyone out there who does not know, this is a Hulk deck, 100% a Hulk deck. Hit the Hulk if you can, because sometimes even if you do have hand traps, you won't be able to. But try to hold everything for Hulk, because Hulk is just what makes this deck go around. The big silly plane's going to touch down, giving me 3 tokens, summoning back the Despot. And then now we're into the cookie cutter combo of the Auroradon token plays, which is kind of weird. Like, it's kind of crazy how like Infernobles could not make their own boss monster themselves, but Auroradon and party can. So going to reveal 3 cards to him, 3 equip spells. Just going to reveal 3 of the same, just to show him that I have 3 of the same, because I know about, you never know. People could be just, I have 3 and add 3. I always like to show, because just a little bit of an honorable play, I guess. But Auroradon tributing out the power tool and the token to summon out Coltwing, and then we have the whole Coltwing Bombug combo following up here. So guys, question for the listeners right now. What do you guys think about double sleeving? Are you a main deck, extra deck double sleever? Do you just think you should just double sleeve the extra? Comment down below and let me know. Also, guys, if you want to support the channel, think about hitting that join button down below, becoming a member today. Help support the channel, get awesome perks and rewards, and you just get to chat with tons of competitive players that love the decks they play. And if you can't join the channel, check out the teamcogcompany.site down below and get yourself the Ordained by Flame playmat, which is, of course, what I'm playing on with King Charles. And our other products and merch, like we have a shirt, coffee mug, other playmats, a 2-player World Legacy playmat, and more to come. I'm trying to push out a hat for everybody to represent the Crusade, which would just be the Team COG logo, playing Rogue to counter the meta since day 1. So now we see practically the full combo. Herald's down, Charles is down. I'm going to synchro Renaud and a level 7 Auroradon, or level 7 Coltwing to make the Omega, banish Omega to randomly banish a card face up from his hand. We get the 5/6, banish face up, hit that transmodify. I go ahead and banish 2 for Phoenix Blade to get Phoenix Blade back to my hand, and I added the DDR off of the Renaud, pitch Phoenix Blade, bring back the Omega, hand loop him again. So technically I hand ripped him for 4 cards now, and I'm going to be able to negate and pop whatever card he has in his hand. So we'll go ahead and use Omega. Hit that White Dragon. He has Monster Born left in his hand. And then in phase, Roland will activate Foolish Barreling, the the Metal Silver Armor, grabbing me Gearfried. And the reason that is allowed is because Herald says only monsters discarded from the hand, or sent from the hand, or main deck are banished instead. So Roland does not send the monster. He sends an equip spell. So right now we have a soft lock with Charles, which is going to be Metal Silver Armor and Oliver. I think this is, honestly, guys, the best lock you can play. I know some people will say they don't play Metal Silver Armor because it's a brick in the deck, but like this card is such a blowout card. Like it's I don't know how to put it. Like to me, it feels like it's a win more in a way because like Olivier here would be just enough because you can't target Charles, but like having Metal Silver Armor be face up and saying that you can't target nothing is practically having a board full of non-targetable monsters is very hard and very difficult for certain decks to play over. But after this, we just pass it over to him, one card in hand, and he draws his one card, and he, thinking about his life choices right now, doesn't know if he's going to play into it. This is one thing that we noticed when we were testing. The World Chalice and the Infernoble matchup go practically lose dice roll if you don't open hand trap next game, and vice versa. Both decks can just, like, both decks are just kind of so, like, glass cannon exploding like if you don't stop World Chalice, they can draw their entire deck and just craft the board they can. If you don't stop Infernobles can kind of hit and choke out the World Chalice and all their choke points, which is not too good, but I mean, it's definitely interesting. But he's just going to go ahead and give it to me, and we're going to wrap it up and head on in to the next game. All right, now for that all-important game 3, as Lithium would say. And World Chalice is going first. And World Chalice seems to kind of have a... Looks like he opens Foolish Burial, Pot of Avarice, Chosen. And it looks like I didn't open anything. Well, we shall see how this goes. Foolish Burial is probably going to send Lee. No, it's sending Carbonetta. Okay. This Carbonetta and Mathematician package was actually inspired by the Venezuelan or South American World Chalice player that won the event. It's inspired Caleb here to kind of test and go further into World Chalice a little bit more, but by Foolish Barreling that, he can just go ahead and banish it to get a normal dragon from deck, which of course we know World Chalice loves vanillas. I'm very interested on why, well maybe Mathematician can send Lee, now that I see that he has Mathematician in his hand. So he's going to banish Carbonetta to summon out a vanilla, which is Galaxy Serpent, I believe. So I know when it's in his hand. I can't remember what exactly is mine. I know I don't see a hand trap, so I'm just kind of sitting there playing with my cards, just hoping that I can make it through, survive this turn. Maybe he won't see Waterfront, but it looks like Chosen, Mathematician, and 2 cards I can't quite get the glimpse of, but that's okay. We're going to see Link Spider be summoned by linking the Galaxy Serpent. Link Spider's effect to special summon the Chosen by the World Chalice. So he has Mathematician, Pot of Avarice, and 1 unknown card in his hand that I can see from this point. But we're going to see Mduk be summoned out now. Is it World Legacy World Chalice? Oh my goodness. So we're going to see the additional normal summon, or not even the additional, just the plain old normal summon of Mathematician. Mathematician to send down, I think he sends Lee. I think that's the correct play. No, he sends Guard Dragon. But yeah, fun. I think interesting. I do have an Ash Blossom, and in World Chalice, you want to try to hit the cup, the World Legacy Cup. You want to smack that, negate that any way you possibly can, because that's how they get a lot of firepowers with that cup resolving. And it looks like he does have the cup. He does. Using Mduk's additional tribute summon, he's going to summon out the cup by tributing the Mduk, and then he can fuse, I think he can use the World Legacy Guard Dragon, World Chalice Guard Dragon, excuse me, in the grave to get a, yep, there he goes. He's going to use that to get that vanilla back to the zone that Link Spider points to. And right here, guys, I kind of see where I made a little bit of a miscalculation, but, you know, and the hindsight, it is what it is. You really don't know. But it does look like he does, like right here, if he makes Apollosa, he is actually so much in a good predicament, because that cup will be able to resolve, not having to be hit with an Ash Blossom or anything. It looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to link all 4 monsters into the app for 4, and he's going to just fire off the cup. And here I'm kind of like, man, you gotta be kidding me. You can't hear him because I have the audio, but he's like, World Chalice best deck, let's go. So my thought process, I do have Ash Blossom in hand. Maybe if I fire off the Ash now, I can at least go ahead and weaken. That's one less negate I have to worry about from the Apollousa. So I attempt Ash. He's just going to go ahead and reduce the, negate it. I mean, you kind of have to, but right now he's just going to be able to blow off because he's going to get Lee. He's going to then get a search from Lee and bring out another Guard Dragon. And then he can make Guard Dragon plays because of the Little World Legacy Dragon being summoned out. I don't know if this is... I think he would just add another Chosen because you can float pretty easy. I think, yeah, you can float really easy with World Chalice because all the X-Deck monsters float down when they are linked off or destroyed. Which is one reason why the deck is kind of skill-based in a high aspect because they have the ability to chain blocks or construct chain links, because I know judges do not like the term chain block, but they have the ability to construct their chain links when they link summon and link off because of the World Chalice Link monsters being able to like float from the hand, which is really crazy. But Pot of Avarice firing off here. He's probably going to just shuffle back 3. Yeah, there we go. Shuffle back 3. Leave the cup in the graveyard for a later lib play, which is extremely smart. Pot of Avarice being crazy in this deck. But here you guys go. Kind of notice here, World Chalice didn't even open Venus, and they were able to kind of combo off. You know what I mean? So it definitely does take a lot, because some people believe the deck is just Venus or bust, but it's really not. But he, I think he just drew Venus. What kind of crap is that? But anyway, we're going to see the activation of YuGiOh Waterfront, which is YuGiOh Waterfront's what put this deck on the map, because this deck can draw 8 to 7 to 9 cards and just make Waterfront live whenever they want to. But I think he only plays 2 Waterfront because I know that him personally is trying to move away from the dependency of Waterfront, and that's kind of what the deck kind of has moved away from. That it kind of like does its own thing. If you see Waterfront, you see it. Cool. If you don't, you don't, sort of thing. But still seeing Waterfront is almost, as we know from playing Crusadia, is seeing Waterfront is practically game. Once the turtle touches down, the turtle is pretty good here. But right now we're still staring down a 3 Apollousa, which is still nothing to practically joke around with. However, I could easily play through a 3 material Apollousa. I think I did it earlier in testing. I played through like a 3 material Apollousa. That's how come I just went ahead and ashed, because I wanted to get rid of the Apollousa. But we see he did get Venus. He uses Lee's effect in grave to pitch the Venus to the grave to add Lee to his hand, then to World Legacy Succession, back out the Venus, and now we just have full combo. So much extensions. Like, it is crazy right now. And he did this all without seeing the Venus in the first place. Now the Venus is just going to be able to just practically make anything he truly wants, to be honest with you. We're going to see the Shine Ball turn into an Mduk. We're going to see the Mduk and the Venus turn into, I believe, a Lib, the Keymaster, or the Blade Master. Whichever one it is, that'll grab him a... Oh, never mind. And he already has the Keymaster out. Whoops. Yeah, turn into Ib. That's what I meant. And then the Mduk will float down World Legacy World Chalice. And we're going to see a potential... No more Link Summon. I think we see Masquerena come down, maybe. Correcting the counters on Waterfront. Going ahead and letting him add that Gamma Seal. Game is in the name, and it's not looking good for the Fury French boys over here. If that turtle touches down, it's really going to, what do you call it, dampen our style. So, but right now he does have the ability to make a Skull Dread pretty easy, and an Apollousa and a Skull Dread would be pretty scary, especially since he did not set Sorrow with Lib, the Keymaster. He could definitely just link that off, but I think he's going to try and set up an IP Masquerena play so that he can like shuffle 2 cards back, which is pretty smart, but we'll have to wait and see what he does, because this is where placement and thought process kind of comes in with World Chalice. You got to think about what you want to do, especially now that since he has access to Waterfront, it'd be kind of foolish for him not to get the turtle down, because the turtle is a practically infinite Omni-Negate monster. We see a link to for Masquerena, which that is Not a bad choice, but I don't know how it's going to get him closer to getting the turtle out. Maybe he's just trying to... Let's see here. I think he's going to sacrifice a 3 material Apollosa for a Skull Dread. I get Kaiba feelings here. I'll sacrifice a god for my Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'll sacrifice all these monsters just to make a Skull Dread so that I can put out the turtle. So we see Skull Dread touchdown, Skull Dread effect. And he still has the IP there too, which is crazy. He's going to be linking to a unicorn on my turn. Skull Dread letting him draw more busted cards and put the worst ones back. We're going to see a set, and then use Skull Dread's effect to special out the Gamma Seal. So game is in the name, so now I got to try and play through this Gamma Seal, which if I happen to have Gear Freed, it's really not too bad to play through. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to go ahead and try to, use Durandal to equip it to the turtle and try and bait him to preemptively negate. Just explain to him what Durandal does, and I think we're going to see it get negated and banished. Because that's one thing with Gamma Seal, you always negate and banish the first thing that they try to do. And then now we just kind of play into it. I see a Fire Flint Lady in my hand. The bad thing is I did not see Gear Freed, so difficulty enough is already pretty set high, because no matter what I do, I'm going to have to feed into the waterfront counter. And since IP can tag in with that Skull Dread to Unicorn, he's going to get another negate then. And it's just going to be too rough, I believe. Olivier trying to summon himself by pitching out the Fire Flint Lady from hand. It is successful, it seems. I'm just telling him what Olivier does. I can just equip to Fire Warrior I control, and it cannot be targeted. I'm going to reveal the Fire Flint Lady in hand to special summon it. And I think that this is where we're going to see a potential fire off of the IP. It is going to turn into Unicron. There we go. Unicron touches down. He's going to pitch the card from his hand. Counters are going to get up. He's going to spin back the Olivier, which is a good choice. Pitching the leaf from hand, which is fine because he can get lead back to his hand pretty easy. And it is not looking good for the Fury French boys here. Well, Chalice getting that turtle out and pretty strong. I mean, there's a reason why this deck ended up winning a whole YCS. But we're going to attempt to special summon Renaud, and we're going to go ahead and use Renaud's effect to try and add back the Durandal. Now, if he lets this go through, we might be able to push through a little bit, but I don't think he allows it. I think he's going to go ahead and try and negate and banish the... Yep, there we go. Turtle responds, banishing Renaud. No cards left in hand. The Fury French boys are done. So a 2-1 victory for World Chalice here, playing against Infernobles, winning the dice roll and just plowing through. So thank you guys so much for watching.